Three, two, one.
There you go.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Funky Friday's first ever podcast.
Hey.
Thanks folks. Today we are here with me, Jen,
Malaika,
Kat.
And Dylan.
Today we're here
to speak about our experiences in NCS.
Yeah.
And it's our last day today.
That's why we decided to call ourselves Funky Friday.
No, because it's Friday. That is why we call it
Obviously,
Friday.
Yeah.
So Jen would like to tell us about her experiences NCS.
Well, I am one of the youngest ones here, which made it a little bit uncomfortable for me. But, I mean, it was fun, and I made lots of friends, and I'm really grateful for it. I think our first couple of days here really pushed us to sort of come together as a team, and that was a huge advantage, and we're really grateful to the NCS team for I wouldn't say forcing, but, making us sort of stick, as soon as we could. And we came together, and we've all become really, really close, I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
The first 2 days are really difficult, though, because they were, constantly... It was just so physical for people that aren't used to it. So you have to do, I don't know how to describe it. The first day we had It's a Knockout, team building, which was constant inflatables the whole day. And whilst it was fun the first few times, you couldn't take your shoes off, which was a big newsflash to us. And then you were just constantly doing all these exercises, you go through 3 straight away, and you had no break basically. And it was just so much physical exertion that by the end of it, you're constantly bonding over your hatred to it, or your exhaustion from it. So that's quite fun.
The pain after that day, the burns from the inflatables.
That's when I twisted my ankle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I remember that one. Dylan, would you like to tell us about your experiences?
Oh, okay. I think basically it was quite fun.
I think it was quite fun.
Yeah,
I just agree with Kat.
It doesn't feel like it's already ending. I feel like we've just started to get, all the experiences, and it's already finished.
Yeah.
No, I think the first day was quite well organised and quite
it was
quite
really
enjoyable.
well put together.
And especially introducing. I found the introducing the army things, because we went around and had a look at there were presentations, weren't there? Sort of?
Oh yeah.
And I found that very interesting because they had all sorts of different things there.
Do you want to go into the army?
Maybe. I'll think about it now. But before I would never have considered it. Now I'm sort of
thinking about it. That was helpful.
Yeah.
Do any of you wanna?
No, not really.
I don't think I wanna go into.
I think if all else fails, I would join the army. If all A levels go down, everything
It's
goes to shit, I would join the
very,
army.
very last backup option.
Yeah, so maybe not more an exit route, I guess.
Yeah. It just seems like really hard work, physically hard.
Yeah, that's where my issue lies. I am 6.5 stone. I'm very small, so.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it isn't just physical. It can also be other things like engineering, where you make stuff
True.
planes.
Oh yeah, do you remember when the cook came and she was like, that's what she does? She makes food for the army.
Pancakes.
Well, no.
Yeah. Pancakes.
Oh yeah.
I think if I was to join the army, I'd be in the writing section, because I remember she mentioned about that. And the army does not have any reserve for romance novels, so I will be the one to bring that in if I was to join the army.
You'll be the starting one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds.
All these big, broody men need some romance in their lives, so I can write it down in erotic novels for them.
That is
That's an interesting thought. Next thing is the knee. First aid. No, sorry, first aid. Yeah.
First aid. We went to a school in Shuttleworth.
a college.
And we went and had a first aid lecture, and we learned how to do CPR, and we learned how to treat burns, how to put bandages on properly. The CPR, a shocker for me, you have to break people's ribs to be able to.
Oh yeah.
That was.
You have to hear it breaking before stopping.
I never knew that before. I thought it's just gentle, but you have to really go for it.
I only knew that from Chicago Med, I think, but it was still really scary having to have that confirmation of in real life you do have to do that. Yeah.
Or Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I know, yeah, it's a medical drama.
Grey's Anatomy.
she was really scary because this was like this full-on woman, and she had to break this 8-year-old's rib, and even she, as a doctor, got really emotional over it. So it's kind of scary, like that we would have to do that if we were in a situation.
Especially like little babies.
Yeah.
But they did say that if you have to CPR a baby, you won't hear their ribs crack as much because of all the plushiness.
They're still forming properly.
Yeah. Especially premature babies. Rain, if you premature, do you know?
No, I don't believe so.
I think I was like 2 weeks late.
Oh, that's probably why it's so big. You know what I mean? Like height-wise.
We also did burns as well with first aid, which was really bad because like some people they gave us images of the burns, and they were really vivid images, and so a lot of the time some of us had to like walk out because it was just so gruesome. But this woman had like no qualms. She was just sitting there casually talking about it.
I mean, I left.
She's probably gotten used to it. She seemed like she has a lot of experience, like going around talking about it and everything. And she was like, it was the same like treatment for all of them. Just put it under cold water and then.
I mean, there were quite a few pictures of like the babies with burns, and I was very surprised by that. Like, I thought they'd sort of maybe tone that down a bit, like that sort of.
She dissed babies a lot. She was constantly saying how like stupid they are. And
Did
how,
she?
Like, yeah, because when we had our one, she was saying like, normally a lot of babies have a lot of injuries because they'll burn their foot if they step on something, but then they just won't take it off. They'll just stay there and cry, and it was just so harsh. She was just so cruel about the babies.
Yeah, do you remember she told us the story about like the mum left her straightener? Were you guys on the same?
Oh, actually,
as us?
about that, my little brother. So I was doing my sister's hair in the morning when my parents were still asleep, and I was like, I'm going to curl my sister's hair for the first time, you know. And I put the hair curlers like on the radiator, and they fell off of it onto the carpet. And my brother came in, and I was like, "Quick, Owen, grab that!" And he grabbed it by the stick end, and I'm not allowed to have hair curlers anymore. So.
My parents had never. I'm the only girl in my family, like minus my mum, and my mum has really short hair. So I was like, till I was like about 12 years old, I was like begging for hair straighteners or hair curlers, and she just always tell me these like horrific stories of what happened to them. So like now I'm like 17, I just still don't want one anymore.
They can be pretty brutal.
But it's like the same with like everything though. Like
there's always a downside.
Exactly,
there's a downside to everything.
exactly.
But I mean, you know, positive outlook on life. Got to look at the positives. Positives, the good things. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really helpful, like the first aid, learning about. Now you would know if something happened outside on the road, you would know what to do.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, to be fair, like there's still that sort of like caution you need to have, like when you see someone like on the floor.
Yeah.
It's like they might not always be as willing to have CPR done to them as you.
I mean, if
Or
they're
like-
dying, if they're dying, yes,
I mean,
they
like,
would.
I mean, like if you test it, like if you try to see if they're awake or not, and they wake up and like hit you.
Yeah, they
Like
never
that.
taught us about what to do if they woke up, but they were still in need of. Ba-bum, ba-bum.
What do you
'cause
mean?
If you
it
need
they only
CPR,
need
you're
C-
dead. So they
Yeah.
can't tell you that
Yeah.
you need
Oh,
it.
right.
Exactly.
It was recovery position, and if they're unconscious but they're still breathing, then what if they become conscious halfway through you putting them in the recovery position? Then what would you do then? Because that would be really awkward, just like casually lifting their legs. They were like, "Oh, good morning."
Yeah,
I mean,
I think they would be grateful that you even tried to help them.
maybe.
Like, imagine being on the road and then no one's helping you, or someone actually comes up and actually help you.
Yeah, like there was an incident at my secondary school, and it wasn't really a fight. Some girl just decided that she didn't like me, and she wanted to come and rough me up a bit. But it sort of made me realize like what people are scared to get involved. Like the circle that formed, like most fights do. I won't lie. I'm usually a part of the circle as well, and I wouldn't intervene. But being in the middle of that situation, it kind of makes you see that no one's actually willing to help you, because in reality they're scared when they need to think about the person in the position.
Yeah.
The problem is with first aid, it's yes, you have to consider helping the person, but you also have to consider yourself as well, because you are namely the most important person there. Because if you get injured, you're creating an even worse situation with the second casualty. And so it makes it really difficult to choose, should I get involved or is it too risky? And it's a really hard judgment to make.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite hard to just try and determine whether you're going to be like a bystander or like you're going to like actually help. And I feel like especially like you haven't really been taught it in school as much as like other European countries. So like I think it would be like shut up.
No, that's the issue with teenagers. Fillers.
I think it's everyone, even like adults.
You
though.
see,
No one. I think it's just like, if you were abroad and you're in another country, like the culture is different. so people are like more in, they would want to get involved. But I think it's just here, like the culture is like so separate and individuality.
Yeah.
Do you like everyone just wants to be separate, not get involved and everything.
Yeah, I think.
But I think it should become more of a community, and everyone should help each other out.
I think our generation are gonna really benefit towards bringing everyone together. I
Yeah.
can't remember who's the next in line for the throne. I can't remember.
Charles, but then it would be,
Yeah.
but he's really old,
Yeah,
so
the
then it would
people
become
after him.
William, I think.
And his wife, yeah.
Yeah, and Catherine.
Yeah, my parents.
Is it
are-
Harry?
No, it's
William
William,
and-
Catherine, and
Oh,
then
yeah,
their
yeah.
children, and then it would go to Harry.
My parents believe that they're going to bring a lot of change, and I wholeheartedly agree. I think our generation is just going to do
I
so much good.
Yeah, I think the one before us, the generation before us, were like,
Well, millennials?
who was?
Millennials.
Yeah.
Gen Z for the win.
Yeah.
I think our social interactions, Gen Z, I think a lot of... Wait, let's move on.
I think
I'm gonna talk about mental health in teenagers and how we have discovered that it's not hard to approach people and it's not hard to make friends, and we've learnt this through NCS.
Oh yeah.
I think on the first day, like Catherine, the first thing I ever spoke to her about was because we wore clothes to go with TV shows that we had watched, so it was much easier to make friends. And I think little things like that, like having a thought about it, was really useful. And I think little things like that people need to sort of think about, you know, because then it might make them less afraid to sort of put themselves out there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think as well that people have a lot of fear about wearing like shows like costumes and stuff like that, because everyone's like, oh, you're so addicted to it, and it's not true. It's just because you really like that character, and that can help create friendships and other things because
Yeah.
other people appreciate that. So like Jen right now, she's wearing Tanjiro's earrings, which is from a different TV show
Yeah.
called Demon Slayer, and obviously when we see that, we have a whole conversation about it because we know about it, and it's an immediate conversation starter, which you can then go on to like so many different things and tangents. But it helps start the conversation, which can be one of the most difficult things to do, especially with
Yeah.
mental health nowadays. It's easy once you're in the flow, but to start that is what tends to be a lot of people's fear,
I
and
think
to have that initiator.
I think more people need to just kind of push themselves to just go for it and just do it, because I feel like a lot of people's fear and anxiety is being rejected, and I wholeheartedly understand that. Like I feel it myself too, but it just takes one person to say, you know, hi, how are you? You know, oh, I really like what you're wearing. I like your hair today.
Yeah.
So, you know, just sort of don't be afraid to break the barrier.
But do you think like lockdown and corona and everything's kind of made that worse
Yes,
right now
definitely.
because everyone's been away? You've kind of like forgotten how to be in like
When I went
big
back-
groups.
When I went back to secondary school after lockdown number 2 and having the online lessons, it was really, really bizarre having to see everyone again, because you don't realise just how many
Yeah.
people were surrounding you because you were so isolated.
Exactly.
I think as well, when we went into my school, I was going into sixth form just from COVID breaking up, and so it was really difficult because like all the people that I did used to hang out with had all gone on to college, and so I was pretty much the only one from the people that I knew going into sixth form, and it was really difficult trying to create and start those connections because it's just a completely
bubbles
new
and
environment.
stuff.
And with COVID, it really did take a hit on my mental health. I was really used to isolation, and so people being around me, I always sat by myself for my schoolwork. I didn't really want to talk to anyone, and so it really hindered my education. But being able to like talk to people, and I got to talk to my friend Rebecca, and we started hanging out, and then now we have a little area that we hang out with, and we have a little group of friends, and it really, as soon as I started and I initiated that conversation, from there on, I now have a best friend. We have a whole group, and it's really easier in school. So that was really good.
I feel this year. I did an induction day for the sixth form I'm going to attend in September, and I kind of there was a group from my school that was going, and I was like, oh, you know, I'm not really going to talk to them. I didn't really talk to them anyway, and I just felt so bad. I really pitied them because they all stayed in one big group. They didn't branch out. They all stayed together. They didn't talk to anyone. But you know, I was there. I made so many friends that day, and like I've had such more enjoyable summer because
Yeah.
I've had people that I'm going to be with for the next 2 years surrounding me already. But I don't understand people's sort of conservative, is it conservative?
Yeah.
Sheltered views on, you know, not branching out.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have any experiences of that?
Well, obviously, like I think with lockdown, like coming out of isolation, everything, everyone was like so not together. Some people have partied
Yeah.
out, and you've kind of lost the people that you would normally be with. But obviously when everything goes back to, well, now everything's gone back to normal, but like coming out and meeting them again, making some new connections would help. Coming out.
Got a game of rock, paper, scissors going on right now.
What is that for?
We were just waiting for you to finish conversation. You know?
Okay.
No, not in a
Give it
rude
else
way.
and then listening.
Pass of the time.
I
I didn't mean that badly.
So what?
I didn't mean to be rude. Blimey. Anyway, back to NCS, shall we?
Would you like to tell us any experiences you've had?
Well, I haven't really had that many experiences because I went into like the what do you call it, Knights Templar. Well, I just continued the sixth form from secondary school to sixth form, and like most of my friends were still there. So like, I feel like I haven't really like changed any of like my friendship group. Like I haven't really branched out that much. So like, yeah, I feel like I haven't branched out as much as I like should have, and I feel like that's sort of a problem because I've sort of got like the group set in stone, and yeah.
See, I don't see the issue with that because you can't go into secondary school as well. But I myself, I'm going to a separate sixth form. I went to a different secondary school to the sixth form I'm attending, and it is really hard seeing everyone else already being friends. But I think I managed pretty well. So moving on from colleges and making friends, we thought charity. That's what NCS is all about. And as young
Giving
adults,
back to the community.
Yeah, giving back to the community. As young adults, I don't believe we focus on being a good Samaritan as much as we probably should, because the fundraiser we did today was not today, Wednesday. The fundraiser we did on Wednesday for the Need Project, which we will talk about later, it was really, really simple to set up and organise, and I just think if it was so simple to do one small good deed, then we should do more things like that. But because we aren't really exposed to charities, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but I feel like young adults are raised quite selfishly. I feel like if we were to get our first paycheck, we wouldn't think, 5% of this we can give to this charity. We would think, what can we buy from the next store, or what can we save for this thing that we want? Which is all well and good, because that's like teaching us to sort of be good with our money.
Yeah.
But I think if we were to, perhaps not at a young age, maybe around 16, 17, if you started to sort of more think about what you could do to help other people, it would just make the world such a better place.
I think as well that there's such like a toxic viewpoint for some people with charity. Like a lot of famous people only do it to get appreciation and to get that good view on themselves.
I think that's a bit of a misconception.
Is there such thing as a selfless good deed?
I don't think so, personally. I think like donating to charity, that's donating to charity. I don't really like. Personally, I don't really.
I think if you're donating to charity, don't put it out like, I'm doing this. Keep it to yourself. Like, you're doing this because you want to do this, not because you want to show it to everyone that I'm doing. Well, obviously, do show it to people so it can inspire others, but not in a way. You put the laughing one on. I was talking about a very serious thing.
I went to click the dun.
No, that's the wrong one. Start again now.
No, it's fine.
No, just continue, please.
Please continue.
What was I even saying?
You were talking about charities and donating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so what I was saying is that we should all donate to charities and not put it out as in like to get appreciation from others and getting more, like what Catherine was saying, like how you want to make yourself look better, but not, you should only put it out in a way that you're like inspiring other people to join you. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, you say that like the celebrities, they don't donate as much as to charity. Well, they might be behind the scenes.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
Just don't
We just don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying that celebrities don't do it. I'm just saying that there are some celebrities
That
that
do
do
it.
it only for their own publicity.
Yeah.
Like they sit there and they'll have like, some celebrities will have like a squaff or something. I don't know what to call it. And I don't know what the word is, but they'll have a whole like fight or something, and it'll look really bad on themselves. And then suddenly, the next day, they're donating to a charity, and everyone's like, "Wow, you're doing so many good things." And it's like, how coincidental is that right now?
Yeah.
But I think there's still like, it's kind of weird though. Like, someone could become famous because one 13-year-old child will have done a really good charitable deed. And it's like, why is that so glorified? It should be a natural thing for us to give charity. It shouldn't have to be so astonishing that one child thought, I'll be nice to someone else.
Do you think it should be like the law to give to charities?
I don't think it should be the law. I think it should just be one of those unspoken laws. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like how, someone's like right behind you, leave the door open for them. Like if you have the ability to give to a charity easily, like in a way that doesn't hinder yourself, and you can do it with people, and will be very profitable for the charity, then do it.
Well, theoretically, you do give to charity because you pay taxes to the government.
That is not charity. I
That is
don't think
not.
paying
Okay.
taxes is charity at all.
No, you pay taxes to the government, and the government gives
The
money
government,
to charity.
but
very
no,
willing, though.
that is not charity. I do
No,
not
you're
think.
but the
It's
thing is,
indirect, though. It's
you're
not.
indirectly given to charity. So
Is
you
it?
say it's that should be
No,
the law
I
to give
think-
to charity.
The government takes it
taxes.
from you.
The government does take it from you, but
No,
you
but it's
say
not charity. It's like you're doing it for yourself because then that money is used to make your surroundings look better and everything. It's not that it's gone to like people that don't have enough money.
Tax money goes
It's
towards your
To-
community.
yeah,
No,
exactly.
no,
It's
I
not.
know, but like, no, you were saying that like it should be the law to give to charity.
I didn't
I'm
say
saying
it should be.
that-
I was asking, do you think it should be?
Yeah, but
Taxes
like
are
if you think
version
about
of
it, it
law.
technically is because it's law to pay tax, and the government gives the money from the tax to the government,
Yeah.
Then
to the
government-
charity, to the charity.
Yeah, but how do we know they do? Because like, if you think about it, there's like quite a lot of charities that people don't trust the big ones because they have questions like, do they actually give it to the people that we want it to? So I think like first-hand charity, like what we did for the Need Project, like actually giving them the food, and then they have to give the food away to people that don't have enough food, is better than rather than just giving them the money. Because I think it's just you don't know what they would do with the money.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we're waffling a bit here. Let's get back onto the
That's
project.
it. Don't think talking about charities and waffling. Fair enough. Fair enough.
No, but like, we were
Opinions,
talking about,
opinions.
we were supposed to be talking about the Need Project, and now we're just like sort of straying away a bit. Talking
No,
about
charity is charity. You can't stray off of charity.
anyways, next topic then, Dylan.
Oh, yeah, next topic is, do you want to talk about, like, steps after NCS?
Huh?
Steps.
Do you want to talk about steps after NCS?
Oh, right.
I mean, I did sign up for the Change Makers, and then I would maybe like to return as a staff because the staff here was very like inspiring because it felt like it's not a very hard job to do, but it felt like it's a very good, rewarding job to do because it doesn't feel like you're actually working because they seem to be enjoying themselves and actually liking it for doing. So maybe I'd like to return as a staff as well and work as a change maker and like inspire other young adults to do like things that we did here because it was rewarding, it was helpful for us. So I'd like to do the same for other people.
Yeah, like for myself, I really want to go to university next year, and I feel like that's going to be an amazing thing. But at the same time, at summer point, everyone has like their own thing that they're doing, and I tend to be really awkward at summer. I have no idea what to do, and so I also signed myself up for the Change Makers because it seemed like such a good thing to be able to have that opportunity to go onto the staff and then to be able to do something that I enjoyed myself and to help other people do it.
Yeah.
Because NCS is actually like, I feel like if I were to see any of the people that I've just done NCS with now in about 2-3 years time, I'll be able to have a decent conversation and be able to talk and catch up and feel comfortable doing it and not feel like one of those people that you just see on the streets and just like awkwardly smile and walk past. I feel like I'm going to have so many better connections. And so I feel like it'd be a really nice thing to do.
To come back to be with like around the same people again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, our staff, Holly and Megan, they're just very funny, and they're also quite young. They're quite near our age, so it wasn't like having some like random old people trying to like stick it with the cool kids. They're not like that at all. It was really nice. They were able to like know what we like.
It looks
And
like
to
they
fit
paid
in.
us, but they haven't. Trust
Yeah.
me, they have not paid us.
No, they're sitting there and they're like basically busting like really awkward about it. But it is really nice though, because like the problem is they know what to like do to push us. Like certain people aren't they're not extroverts. A lot of us are quite introvert here. So it's quite nice that we get pushed to play games like Monkey Ball, which is us in a big circle pushing a ball through people. It was just, there's some certain things I would never play with people before, and I wouldn't do this kind of games. It just seems too like young. But now that I'm here and I'm playing them, like every time I'm like, we're gonna do Monkey Ball, I actually get really excited for it, which I never thought I would before. But it's because of the staff and the people around us that help to push us to do those things. and to get us out of our shell and everything.
Yeah. What about your steps after NCS, Dylan?
I don't really know. I have found like the experience. I think it was quite nice and quite fun. I think, and I like the aspect of like giving to charity and stuff like that. Yeah, I think it's like helped me a bit with skills and like talking to people and like helping like maybe start a conversation a bit more, because before I was very bad at starting conversations and like sort of branching out of like my sort of friendship group, because there was at like my school, and I think that was like quite a nice experience, meeting new people and like, you know, talking to them and like having fun. There you go. And I think like the team leaders have helped a bit with that, like with the games and like team building activities and stuff like that. Why are you laughing?
You
Yeah.
keep saying like.
An inspiration for our name came from the game we play. It's called Monkey Ball.
We did not name it Monkey Ball. We called it Funky Friday.
Yeah, I know, but we originated with Monkey Ball.
You're pressing the wrong button.
So Jen's
So-
back now. So
Yeah.
would you like to tell us what your steps are for after NCS?
Well, I don't know.
Like coming back as a change maker.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm going out to a like anime con, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna talk to people and I'm gonna make friends and I'm gonna branch out even more. And after that, obviously I'm going into college, sixth form, same difference really. But I'm going into sixth form and I'm gonna do my best and I'm gonna be resilient and I'm gonna persevere in my studies.
Do you think you want to come back like as a staff or as a change
Yeah,
maker?
totally. I mean, I cannot because of my age for the next year, but in 2 years' time, I will be
Yeah.
here again. So
I think
maybe you'll hear us again. You know.
Exactly. A new episode.
NCS had so many moments though where like there was positives. I know obviously you can never have a perfect course. There are moments where like you would read that there'd be water activities and there were no water activities and we were all so ready for like paddleboarding or like canoeing or kayaking, and then you hear that one area got to actually do it and we're all like, excuse me, bring it back for us please, and we didn't get to do that. But I think at the same time that's going to help us branch out to other, like, I don't want to say strangers, that seems so cruel, but like to other people that we meet, we can be like, oh, and then casually open up the fact that we did NCS, and if they did it too, that's an entire conversation that we can have about our experience on NCS and what we liked and disliked.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Moving swiftly on.
you want to talk about
The food bank, right?
Food bank, yeah.
We've discussed a little bit about the Need project.
About the neighbour-
I don't know what was discussed whilst I was gone, but I'm going to talk a little bit about that.
yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Go
okay.
on, go ahead.
So the charity we decided to fundraise for was called the Need Project. It's based in
Stotfold.
Stotfold in, well, Hitchin.
It's not in.
It's not in Hitchin, it's
Well,
just
the-
it's its own town.
The road's like, it's called Hitchin Road.
In road, yeah.
Yeah, but that's because it goes to Hitchin.
Okay, so
Stotfold is like
maybe not
a
in Hitchin
different
then.
town.
Okay, well, anyway, so it's based in Stotfold. For me, it's quite personal because my family struggle a lot, and like we use a food bank where I live. So it was really nice to sort of be able to give back, even if it wasn't the one in my community. I was quite happy to be able to give back to a food bank because I know how much it helps, and I feel like we did a really, really good job, and we got all of the things we needed. And I just, you know, I'm really grateful that we chose the charity we did. 'Cause it's very close to me. Yeah, people never know what to say when I bring stuff like that up, but it's not an issue. Like, it's fine. I'm happy with.
No, it's
My
good.
family
Like
stuff,
you're
yeah.
able to talk about it.
Yeah,
'cause then
yeah.
I think as well though with like buying the stuff for the food bank, that was probably one of the like almost the funnest things.
Yeah,
Was
it
not
is.
not appreciating the number 10 or the number 5 or how much things weighed or cost, because we were going through and we had like one trolley and we had one bag and we were like maybe two, and we were like so prepared, we're like it's not going to take up that much space, and we got like 10 bags of rice and it weighed so much, and we were like
Rice
having
is
to drag
heavy.
the bag
Yeah.
along the floor because it
Milk.
cost it
I-
like way
Milk.
too much.
I think next
the
time,
long lasting milk.
I think next time if we do this, we better like maybe make like the weight proportional, because there were bags that were like really heavy
Yeah.
and there were bags that were like really light, and I think it was quite, you know, disproportionate.
We had one bag that had all the cans, all the sugar, all the rice, which is like
I didn't realize it make noise. I was trying to press the, the din. Sorry. There
We're
you go.
pressing the buttons at the wrong time. That was
but
like a serious topic.
I just put my finger over it.
That is not. But that's it. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Press
The
it
thing
again.
There we go.
The thing is that like when you pack the bags, you're thinking like, oh, let's do space.
so much out. Sorry.
But when you have the bags, you're like, oh, we'll have to like sort out. And for myself, I was the one packing the bags. I thought, oh, I'll do it
Stop
by
moving.
space. And unfortunately, the space didn't qualify for the weight.
Ah, here we go. We have a funny story for you guys.
There's
is
a
it?
person named
So-
Dylan sitting across from us.
Yes. So, Dylan, would you
What?
care to tell us about your introduction to sanitary towels?
Oh no!
Yes.
So I think everyone wants
know
to
it
know.
all.
I don't think anyone. Okay.
Yes, we do.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. You're good. You're good.
Okay, so the other day, I think it was
Catherine will do it for
Tuesday
you.
evening or like afternoon, we were getting ready.
Stop.
What the flip? This button just. What?
Did you just break it?
No, it's off. I don't know what happened.
So on Tuesday afternoon, we were getting ready and we were sorting out what stores we wanted to look at to go and buy the produce from and everything. And the problem was, we all got given a store to look at online to go and take out the prices to see
It was
who's
a
done.
palaver.
Oh god. Dylan
Per
chose to do
milliliter.
everything like
I'll never forget that
What?
one.
so precise. Dylan did.
Yeah, but like, well, you got to be precise with these things.
It
Like
was
you
pra-
just. Okay, no, you just wrote down.
How do you,
so-
okay?
You just
How
wrote
do you
down-
buy a milliliter of milk? Like
I didn't say
what
milliliter
shop?
of milk. I wrote down the prices relative to the amount. Like, for example, I wrote milk.
Okay. I think Dylan's getting a bit too mathsy here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Shut him down on this
You
one.
just okay. No,
You were very precise.
you just wrote like 75p without like the amount it was. You just wrote down the prices like relative. My system was a lot better because like
He had such
I
a
think
organized
he was
system.
just trying to show off a little bit.
Let's
I
just
wasn't
say
trying to show off. What do you mean?
the thing is that we then went on to toiletries, which is a really weird place, and we had like all this toothbrush, toothpaste, and then we went on to sanitary towels. And obviously, all the women and most of the men will know what a sanitary towel is. It is used for women on their periods. The problem is, we asked, we went to Dylan and we said, Dylan, what's your price for us for the sanitary towels? And he went £2.50 for one. And on average, they're like what? £2.50 for like, or £2 like 2 packs of 12 each. So that's 24 for like £2. And he had £2.50 for one. And he thought they were like a towel, like a literal towel.
Like a tea towel.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense. And so we had to explain what they were to him. And
Also, whilst she was going down the shops, they were squishing and being
yeah,
like,
they were like, there's such a
they're
pillow.
so soft.
Who was doing that?
Dylan turned around when we were like packing it up. He goes, "Wow, they're like a pillow."
I did not wait. I did not do
No, I think
that.
it was the other Dylan.
That's defamation. You'll find a letter in your post.
No.
It was just such an experience.
Okay, moving on.
Accent. No. What's next on the list?
I feel like me personally, I mean, we're just going to make a quick break, move on. For me personally, being around, even though the age difference isn't like humongous, it is,
Apparent.
yes. No.
Not really. No, I keep thinking she's my age.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's just
That's because of conversations.
But
But
yeah, we'll talk about another. Well, maybe not. Probably not. No. Anyway, so I think that being around older people gives me a
Older
better.
people.
Not
All right.
older people.
Old
my walking cane
people.
back there.
Yeah,
sorry.
no, catch you guys in the care home. No, I just feel like it's matured me. I don't know. I'm
How
quite.
much older do you think we are?
No. I
We're
just,
literally a
Oh,
year
yeah.
apart, I swear.
let's just stop talking about this.
Oh,
Anyway,
actually
Dylan has a story.
Technically, she's 2 years older though.
She's
Right.
younger
No,
than
2 years younger,
us.
sorry. 2 years younger, sorry.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though, is that we keep getting mixed up on who's younger and who's older. There are moments like you have a conversation, and then like, obviously Jen will be like, "I don't understand," or not. Or like she'll be like, "I'm younger."
No,
than you,
I'll
I'm
be the
not
one that
there yet."
understands. You lot don't understand
Yeah, we
nothing.
talk about like college or something. We talk about what we took for like A levels, and then she'll be like, "Right, I'm leaving," and it just
Yeah.
kind of like it hits sometimes. They're like, "Oh, right, she's younger than us."
Yeah.
See, we think that you're like a baby.
I am a baby. I'm an August baby, so
be
it's always
fair-
been a struggle.
To be fair, you are going into college though.
I am.
So
That's
Got
not
into
that
the sixth
young.
form I wanted, so
That's good.
big ups. Results day
Yeah.
yesterday. That was pretty.
Do you want
I
to talk
mean-
about your results? and
Yeah, I'll
your-
talk about my
how-
results. I didn't have very much high expectation for myself at all. I was like, I'm probably just gonna fail most subjects.
I think that's what everyone feels like before getting results, like any type of.
But I don't mean like I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna fail. I mean like I was like, I'm gonna fail. Like, oh well. you know.
Potato.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was really, really surprised. I passed everything except from Mandarin Chinese, because I mean, it was
No, do not. So press.
it was very
I'm not pressing
difficult.
anything, no.
I mean,
Dylan,
Yeah.
Mr. Man took Chinese for his GCSE.
Yeah.
And did you do your?
Because
did
he
you do your
speaks
A-level?
Chinese.
Oh,
He's
no.
half Chinese.
Well, no, I took it for GCSE and got an A star, but like,
And I got a 3.
oh, no,
Well,
no,
was
but
that like a low, no, C, D?
No, that's
D.
a fail. 3 is a fail.
No, it's not a fail. U's a fail, and then 3's a D.
I swear,
Why
when
did
I used to have, like, when I did GCSE, which was like 2 years ago now,
Literally maybe 10 months,
crazy.
not even 10 months, like 3
That's-
months ago.
that is quite
We
weird.
didn't actually do GCSEs,
But like,
though.
Yeah.
three,
neither
three
did
I think
I.
was a fail though. In like,
They
Like
told
when
you
I
that
was
4 and
using-
5
Yeah,
was a pass.
they told
4
us
and 5
3
is
was a
a
fail
C.
for us.
No, it's not. Well, only in English and maths and science. If you get a 3, you
Oh.
failed. But everything else, it's like you get a grade. So I didn't fail. I just didn't pass.
Yeah, because like when you do it now,
No, there is a difference. There is
in
a
A level,
difference.
like when you look at it, you have back to the letters, thank goodness. But a U is still a complete fail, and an
Yeah.
E, a D, and up is still a pass.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they're kind of like until you get to a C, it's seen as like a non-applicable. You can't
Yeah.
really use.
That's
For us
anything
at
that
our
gets
school, they were
lower.
like, 4 is like just a pass, and then 5 is like a
Yeah.
good pass, and then
yeah,
anything
I got
below.
5s, 4s,
That's
and
good.
I got my 9. I got an
Oh,
A star
yeah.
star in art because
that was very good.
I think
very
it's like
artsy. Thank you very much.
I think as well because of COVID, like you didn't actually sit exams. You done them through the year.
Well, we didn't. My school did it a bit differently. We did like centigrade assessments.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
meant.
yeah.
Like,
That's basically like GCSEs, but different name.
I did 9 science exams and I did 6 food tech exams.
Oh, wow.
exactly.
And the art exams, 10 hours. Oh, that was brutal. But we did it over several days, so it was even more drawn out.
I mean, I heard one of my friends who has done like 50 exams, but like that was sort of like in class, and
Yeah.
like he thinks that's a lot better than the actual like GCSE system
Yeah,
because
the
Because
like
they were topic exams, which was
Yeah.
easier to.
The big exam is...
Because
It's very
imagine if you're
daunting.
like just not well on the day, or it's just not your day,
yeah.
and like all of the work you've done throughout the 2 years, it's all gone to waste.
Exactly. Having
This is just
like,
based
one
on that
decider.
1 hour,
Mhm.
and it's all memory. Like, what if you just forget? Like,
Mhm.
what are you supposed to do?
I have horrendous memory.
Those
Exactly
of us
same.
who are in like A level right now, we're going through them. We did a mock exam, which because we've never done GCSE exams, we stopped after like our second mock exam in like year 11. So we never actually got to do any proper exams. Never had that like fear. And so when we're in A level and we're doing these mocks, we've just kind of completely forgotten everything. And I think one person got a 9, everyone else was in like 6s, 5s. Well, I guess that'd be that. We more got C's, D's, and E's. I think I only got 1 U. Very proud of that one. But it was just so difficult because you sit there and you've been out of school and been on and off. Especially in our school, we had like a 3 months interval during the start of this year, I think, because of COVID again. And it was so difficult to get back into the flow of like learning.
Actually, yeah, I struggled a lot because like in lockdown, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't learn anything because the subjects I do, I feel like you need like a teacher, right? Because chemistry and
I did
biology,
all
you
practical
can't
subjects.
teach yourself like that.
I did,
So-
so art and food and nutrition was a bit difficult to do on a Teams call. Like, with when it comes to food tech, I know, crap GCSE or whatever, but it was really difficult because we were supposed to cook one thing every week, but because of COVID and like not being able to go to the shops and stuff, we couldn't do anything. We was just sat there listening to our teacher drone on and on and on, and it kind of takes away the flair of the subject as well, like having to sit there and be lectured for like an hour over the phone.
As well, there were like siblings and family. Like I had, because of my brother had to be home as well because he is quite paranoid. He's like a hypochondriac, and so he didn't want to stay at his university, so he came home. So I had my mum, my dad, my younger brother who was going into year 10, and I had myself and I think there was 5 of us roughly. But it got to be so many people in such a small space where we didn't have we had a very small living room where Marsh did his work. Mum's office is next door. Dad has to work upstairs in his bedroom. My brother is in his bedroom and I'm in mine. So everyone can hear everyone. So you couldn't do Zoom calls. I was really behind in my subjects as well because Marshall and William got prioritized. So I was kind of stuck there. Like I have no idea what's going on. And it just got really difficult because I had to review my lessons after everyone else. So I wasn't doing it in school time. I was doing it like 4 to 8 p.m. which just threw me completely out the loop. So going into actual school and having to like wake up at 8 o'clock and not like 10 or noon was really difficult as well.
Yeah.
When it with mine, I went into school because key workers. No, I'm a young carer. That's why I went in. And even with the time that I was there, it was really, really difficult because my household has 5 people. I have 2 younger siblings and then both my parents. But with the obviously I said I'm a young carer, and with the having to look after everybody and have to deal with the constant 5 people. We only have a 3-bedroom house, and it's really hard because it's so cramped, and we have quite a small house. It's really hard to sort of break away. Like even when I'm at home after school and stuff, it's really hard because you can hear everything. Obviously, younger siblings, they're loud, and it was really hard being at home all the time. What about you?
I think I remember several instances where my parents have walked into my room whilst I was in a lesson.
Yeah.
Me too.
And also, I think there was I think because there were some times where I ate food during Zoom calls, and I think that was like a
Everyone just
highlight.
get
'cause
hungry
it
at
was quite
home
fun.
anyways. Sorry.
Yeah, but it was like lunchtime, and my parents have lunch different time than my school do, because my school have lunch quite late.
So does mine.
So I'm gonna eat food whilst I'm doing computing A level, which is a bit.
That was a really difficult thing. It was I was doing really well with dieting and everything, and I was at I was quite happy. I was like, yay, I'm 16, I'm doing pretty decently for my weight. And then COVID struck, and I was in the house all the time with all the food. And the problem
ate
is
so much at home
brothers
as well.
are so picky, and everything comes in packs of multi-choice, and so they only like one flavor, so mama will buy it. So then I have 5 different choices, and my weight just gained, and it was really difficult for me to feel positive and to have that positive mindset, because I was constantly berating myself. And the problem is I'm like a comfort eater, so every time I got annoyed with myself, I'd then cry, and then I'd eat, and then I'd cry because I'm eating, and it was a really bad loop, and it's really difficult to get out, and I'm still slightly stuck in it. But the thing is being able to be around people again, and being able to have that physical motivation, and having people encouraging you or even doing it with you is a lot easier to do. So COVID was really difficult on nearly every topic and subject.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
I 100% agree as well.
The camera says 4K. We're caught in 4K.
Oh, sorry.
There was one pro though of COVID, which was the joys of learning anime and learning different
Yes.
TV shows and everything.
Oh, this
But
is
yeah,
where I'm
like,
going to
it's
have to
just
stop talking now.
And Dylan. Let's
I
have
have to
a
admit,
side conversation.
I went into my A-levels, and the only topic I could ever talk to anyone else about was anime.
Me too.
Because
What
everyone
is the obsession? What is it?
the thing is, everyone was bored, and everyone was like, well, I may as well. Everyone had been talking about My Hero Academia or Haikyuu, and everyone was like, well, I may as well watch it during COVID since we have all this time. And you start one, and it will recommend another, and you'll just go.
The thing is, I was very sheltered about it. I was like, no, anime, weebs, you're all weird. And then I watched one, and oh my lord, it opens you up. You're like, it's not weird. It doesn't instantly make you
Addicted.
Not addicted. It doesn't make you
everyone
weird.
who's just
Yeah,
watched
it's
it
just
once,
normal.
they're like, they can't stop now.
There are many
So it is a bit
moments.
of addiction.
It's a bit addiction, but it's more like you open. It's like a hobby, you know.
Like
You
my-
wouldn't say a hobby is an addiction.
My brothers are one of those weird people because, especially with anime, they tend to accentuate certain parts of their bodies, especially women.
Oh,
the
yes,
chest tends to be rather accentuated.
Women in anime,
And everyone thinks that that's the reason why a lot of people watch it. And I have
Yeah.
to admit, I laugh every single time I see this really stick twig of a person and they have the biggest boobs ever. And it's just so funny to laugh about rather than sit there and get oh, that's really cool. It's not, but it's a really
Yeah.
funny fault to pick on it.
women being sexualized in anime is very. I wouldn't say amusing. It's not a good.
Yeah.
But it is quite amusing for females to watch from an outside kind of point of view.
It's when especially now there's a big trend of books with the woman written by a man, and it's just there's so many things that are wrong about it, but it's how they seem to perceive us as, and it's really funny to see how they do it and to laugh at how badly they got it.
Yeah.
It's wrong. Is that what you're laughing about? That
Yeah.
it's not right?
Yeah.
It's how wrong they get it.
We're not laughing because it's this is really cool. We're laughing because look how stupid these boys are trying to like draw women.
Like they're like, oh, this is super realistic, and they have like a girl, and she's in like the tightest things you'll ever see, and she'll be running, and she doesn't hurt herself. She doesn't have to hold anything, and she'll do like 5 flips in one go, and they're like, it's super realistic. It's not.
There's
No
an
one can do
anime.
that.
It's called The 7 Deadly Sins.
Oh, yes.
The art style kind of goes downhill, but anyway, there's a giant in it, and she's a girl and she's a giant, and every time she falls over, she lands with her legs open, and it's just like, why? What's the need for that?
Exactly.
Are you complaining about the physics in anime?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like the boys have it, and like you're like, oh, cool. They have a really nice 6-pack. They have a really nice body.
It's
like,
not even
fair
6 pack, it's
enough.
like 12.
Exactly. Some of them get 18. You're like, whoa, stop there. Yeah. But with the girls, they just get like, it's just so wrong that it's funny to the point. You know when someone starts like a really bad
But do you
joke
think the
and you're
boys
like,
think that what they're being presented is wrong as well? Because not everyone has a 6-8 pack.
Probably. I don't know. How do you feel, Dylan? I feel like
Have
you
you
watched
watched
anime.
any character with a
I
12
haven't
pack?
seen that much anime.
Okay. Well,
We should move on from this topic.
Yeah,
it's going
because
to
I
go
have
downhill
nothing
real
else.
quick.
Let's talk about change makers.
We did.
So
Good.
the change makers.
We'd already talked about change
I just want to mention the fact that the change makers aren't actually staff. Well, they are technically, but they're not proper staff at NCS. What they're doing is it's us who have done NCS. We go into currently a live like Zoom talk, but it can be in person later on, and you discuss the things that you don't. Discuss the things that we believe can be changed to improve NCS. That's all the change makers are, because we made reference and never actually explained what they are. So I thought I'd just.
I think to sort of start to wrap up our podcast today, I think what we've taken away from NCS is we've got amazing social skills. We've learned to be persevere.
Not
We've
too sure about amazing social skills.
I
sure about
think so.
English.
I think
I-
within our group.
I think like it's gotten a lot better. Like my sort of like social skills are a bit better. Oh yeah.
Anyway,
So easy to tangent.
yeah, it is. It's really
Yeah.
easy to go off and talk about other things.
So
Anyway,
what
thank
we'd
you.
like to say is
Yeah.
that the slogan "No, we can't" is actually correct. Like, yes, we can.
Yes, we
And then, yeah, that was a
This is
podcast.
getting really
of it.
cringy. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.